Hey everybody out there. Looks like I got a little bit more time for the evening. I was going to see maybe play around with I don't know, maybe drum and bass or something. And probably need a bit more volume. Just did a step sampling. I think I mentioned it earlier today. First thing I gotta figure out is how do I get the metronome turned on? Gotta load up the manual here and see what it says. Mac OS is making this super fun to read. While holding the pattern button, is it play? Okay, it's probably metronome play. Well, we got it. So just pattern and what was it? Yeah, pattern and record seems to be what it is. Seem to have a few double taps there on the hi-hats. Let's see if I can figure out. There was something to do so you can see what was on each step. I would hold it and then hit granular new. Maybe close. Step edit. Or just re-record the whole thing. Pattern, turn it on. Where the heck is that coming from? Oh. Just one bar is enough. Whoops. Just playing that because I wanted to adjust the filter. Hey, what's up, Bobby? I think for a little tiny device, I pretty much, I dig it. It's pretty fun. Excuse me. Plenty of little controls that I'm going to have to learn, and I think it's a good replacement for this. I mean, obviously it costs twice as much at this point, but it's definitely a lot cleaner sound. I think the PO33 though can get super dirty for a lot of sounds, so probably not going to get rid of it, but yeah, just trying to learn my way around. Excuse me. But yeah, like how you double the loops or double a pattern? I keep forgetting. Yeah, the PO is like just super quick. A bunch of goofy things recorded on here. I can't even remember what the heck is on there right now, but I know I got some. I've like run some bass samples through it, and the filter on it is pretty gnarly, and you get some cool stuff. This was the loop I was playing with earlier today. That was this pattern, I think, if I saved it. So I still haven't gotten out of doing like one bar yet, but we'll get there. I need to remember how to extend the pattern length. It might be like shift pattern or something. I don't know. I know I gotta, like, I keep doing quantize off too because I don't like the default setting, but I actually should learn what the way to go modify the quantize value is and then play around with it. Yeah, it is absolutely like a mini SP404 Mark II. It's actually, I think it compares quite well for a number of things. Limited samples time, like for me, I don't mind because I'll just dump over to the SP404 Mark II, whatever I want to save. And if I need to back up to the computer or phone, I can. It does show, I talked about this earlier, it does show how much more functionality and how usable it is just having more knobs. I mean, we've got 8 knobs versus 4 up top, and where I think like you have to do like either the catch mode. So when you turn it, like it doesn't just immediately start changing until you get to whatever setting you want. Because it's broken down more, you have less friction for the knobs. Unfortunately, they are small, like the pocket operator, so the ability to do fine controls is a little tough, but I still like it. Let's see if I remember how to. Okay, so just shift in the pad is a mute. And clearly, it's like I just muted pad 4. It's still playing that loop until, so we're muting the triggers, not the audio. Which I think is interesting to know. I don't know. Oh, I was just messing around and checking out the microphone. You guys tell me if you like the sound of any of this stuff. I'll unmute all this stuff as well. I was in my car recording the goofy some sounds off of it. So they sound kind of hollow. I think that's just a factor of the speakers and the room space. So to beef these up, actually what I did, because there's a lot of noise in it, so I had gone in, let's see, filter, turn it off, and see if that changes it. I didn't think I saved it, but yeah, I can kind of hear it still. It wasn't as much as when I was using the headphones though. Exit, enter, exit. Well, even with it off, let's open up the, filter is not, okay, because it's off, it's not going to do anything. That makes sense. Exit. I feel like we could use some high end here. We'll go isolator. Okay, that's too much. Go to a different pattern. We'll go to 3. And whoop, weird. Take this down. Pattern, quantize. Nah, that was terrible. Remember to stay in keyboard mode. Probably need to switch this to Poly if I'm going to stay with this kit. I should try and find some kind of bass sound. Kind of like that. much easy. I don't know. Let's see what we get. Actually, sample lo-fi mono. Oh, that's what we're going to get. We're out of time. So we're just trying to do a fine tune here. Oops, let's get that. We'll do a new pattern. And see if we can get that in the right spot. I think these are all 160. Let's see if we get a... Yeah, get to the loop. Go to dig, scatter. So these are all 162. We'll try again. That one's nuts. So this one I probably want to play every other bar if I want this loop to keep going. Let's go see if I can find probability or something in the manual. Because I haven't messed with it yet. I know it's in there. I just don't know what button combination we need. Hold down the step, press granular. And then, oh, hold on the step, tap granular. That just seems to be changing the note value. Hold down the step button of the step that contains the performance data you want to change and press the granular pad. Select performance pad to select the performance value data you want to edit. Granular. I'm missing something here. What's up, Sesh? I'm not running the P6 into and out of the 404, although I could certainly do that. I just need to change my patch bay. Right now it's just going straight into the mixer, and I'm just recording some stuff off the TP7 just to kind of goof with it, and reading the manual here to try and figure out how to change. So hold down the note, press granular. You can't let go. Oh, you just tap granular to get to the setting you want. That's just changing pitch. I thought there was a way to do probability here, but maybe it's a different setting. Note number, velocity. Yeah, the problem is that on the Mac, it is displayed as garbage. So they don't actually, the fonts are all messed up. So I think pitch, something, that must be ratchet or something. Oh. Note, velocity, pitch. That's timing. I don't want to adjust the timing. I don't know what O is. It just cycles back through again. I am wondering how to do this. I would say hooking up the P6 to the M8 connects really well. I mean, you've got the MIDI on the back, so you can go MIDI out to MIDI in just using the TRS jacks from this to the SP404 Mark II. I think sequence it, tempo should line up fine. Sequencing it between the two, I think you're going to want to keep them separate is my guess. But that's just a guess. But you can get the audio in and out, so you can run one into the other and then process it using effects. So like you can use this as a mini little end of chain effect box, or if you go from this over to your SP404 Mark II, you can use skip back or whatever to capture loops and then do whatever you want. The only thing that you can't do is both of them are, or neither of them are USB hosts, so you won't be able to just go USB-C to USB-C and have them talk to each other. But I guess that's what you need a computer for, but that should work. Okay, so it says micro timing, probability, note number, velocity, note, velocity, then it says probability. I gotta stop letting go of it. So we go 1 and 2. It'll play longer. Okay. We want like, we'll try 1 of 4. Maybe it's long enough to do that. All right. So I would say as long as you know the BPM of stuff to record in as loops. This is just really just pad 5 and pad 6. Pad 5 is doing drums, pad 6 is just doing that grunged up bass. Let's go lo-fi on it. It's already a little crunchy. We can drop in filter. Oh, that completely cuts it out. Some distortion. You can get pretty crazy here if you want. Having the mic on here is kind of nice too. Anything else to... Oh, those are some scratches I recorded earlier today. A bunch of weird stuff already. I mean, for just 2 loops, that's not too bad. Let's see what else we got. That one might work. So let's go delete that. Sample back in. Because we got more time than we needed. Oh, hey Chiagabi, how you doing? You bored? It's not too bad. I don't like how it's lining up. Who doesn't like bells? Should delete this one. All right. There we go. Let it do its thing, and then we will have the sound. It is just like the SP404 Mark II. So yeah, you just hook it up to USB if you want, and it works. So yeah, both of them are class compliant USB-C audio and MIDI devices. As long as you hook it up to a computer, iPad, phone, or whatever that can be a USB host, you can hook them up and use it as an audio device. So this works just the same as the SP404 Mark II does from a audio device perspective. So if you can do it on the SP404 Mark II, you can do it on the P6. I don't like how this is starting. I don't know. Maybe I gotta extend the pattern. Maybe it's just not long enough. Let's go back and... I did it again. I gotta hold it down. Go to P. And I think it's a 1 out of 2 maybe? Not quite matching up right. I don't know, I don't know where the start is right now, but that sounds much better. The stopper. It is still there. And if you're curious, Bobby, it is just like the SP404 Mark II, where if you hold shift, there are, I guess for vinyl, there isn't, but for cassette, all the cassette simulator stuff is also available. It's on the second page. So if you remember, I believe it's first one's tone. So you can do the tone, noise, age. Then you've got shift gives you, I forget what this is, distortion maybe. I think the middle one is wow and flutter, and then the last one's catch. So you have your 2 pages of effects for the effects that have them. The only thing to keep in mind is you don't have technically 4 buses of effects. You just got the 1 bus, and then you have a hard-coded delay and reverb that, if I remember correctly, you can get at. You hold shift, mixer, and then I think these get at the delay and reverb amounts, or how much you're sending to them. I still need to keep reading up on in the manual, because I haven't quite gotten all this stuff figured out yet. Trying to get there. Oh, and I guess I kind of missed your question, Bobby, but yes, you can monitor the mic. So if if you don't have a mic on your PC, you can absolutely use this mic as well. Whoops, didn't mean to go lo-fi. That sounds kind of cool. Anybody got anything weird you want me to try? Happy to give something a try if anybody's got anything they're into. Otherwise, if you haven't played around with or if you haven't seen the step sampling, let me see if I can slide my chair over and go grab something. You could use the mic. So here, I'll show you. If I go sampling, and I think because I have this line in, let me see, not there. If I unplug that, do we get it? Yeah. So as long as you don't have an audio input in, you get the microphone. So I just need to take this output. If I plug this output into the SP404 Mark II, you could then use the mic to record, if that makes sense. What was I going to grab? Oh. Here we go. I'm just going to play around with the step recorder. Just if you guys haven't seen it, it took me a minute to figure out how to use it, but it's actually pretty handy. So if you want, you can, by default, you'll get, if you're not using a computer, you'll get equally sliced steps, and you can tell it how many the steps you want. So like on a key group or like a drum kit on the OP1 has, 25 notes. So if I need to go to a new bank here that's empty. You select your pad, hit sample. Well, am I recording already? That's not what I wanted to do. I jumped the gun. All right, we'll delete that. We don't want that. Go sample here. And if you hold shift down and then adjust the pitch knob, you can tell it how many samples you want from off, which is just one sample, to 2 all the way up to 64. So like if I just wanted to do basically transport the drum kit on the OP1, you just have to start it. And it's gonna, I don't know why I just recorded. Oh, probably because it heard me talking. So let's exit out. We'll start over. You have to hit the delete button to get the mic off. Select the sample. We want to record 1. Is it just recording? Okay, I'm doing it slightly wrong here. Exit one more time. Sample, hit this. Maybe I have a threshold set or something weird. Too low. Although I don't hear anything coming through, so the signal shouldn't be that hot. It's supposed to just say pause, like standby. But as soon as I hit record, it's going straight into it. What is going on here? There we go. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Exit. Sample. I may have just messed up some of the settings for sample standby. So now Now it's waiting too long. I thought... Okay, there we go. Now it's doing the behavior I expected. I just needed to really crank it up. So basically when it says, it'll say pause while it's in between, then you do hit this to say standby, and then just record whatever. And you can just go through like note by note, but you have to keep hitting the sample when you're ready for the next one. And because you have monitoring on, you can listen and be like, what notes do you want? That one's a bummer because it is too long. That one is also too long. You kind of want to just let it sound out before you start the next one. So you'll hear like some of these don't have quite as much time. And I think because you get like 12 seconds across all, no, 20 seconds now for the OP1 field. So let's get some of these other ones that I think were missed. So we're done. Oh no, we got one more. Look at that last kick. So it goes through, it will normalize everything, then it writes it out, which is the process you just have to wait for. But we now have a drum kit here. If we just hit keyboard, nothing. Like that. Like you can kind of hear like it just ends a little abruptly. You just hit octave to go to the next one. So, I don't know. I can just see this being a way to go record kits off of just various stuff. So, I'll probably hook this up to my Triton, get some drum kits off of it. Maybe some S950 discs and stuff. And it might be worth looking into to see if anybody ends up creating a tool to take some of the OP1 fun drum kits and stuff and convert them to P6, because I can't imagine it's that hard. You can mess with the envelope. So you have a pitch envelope, and then you have the voice envelope. I don't know why they call this p.env versus voice, which they then in the manual call tenv. But if you want like an attack on it, you can go shift and then voice here. And basically these become your ADSR knobs. So what did I do to mess up my audio here? Did something wrong. Exit. Oh, the first one has nothing on it. That's the problem. Let's go to another. So if I want this to have a slow attack, we can move the... So that's like full attack. You can hear it's a little clicky. Even just putting it up like to an attack of 1 can really get rid of that click. Or start getting rid of it. 2. I mean, part of it's because it's on the end, so you might need to kind of juggle the attack and release here. So hopefully it gives you a sense for it. But yeah, you just hit enter to commit it. Otherwise, if you don't do that, and you still need to make sure you write stuff out. If you don't write it out, it'll save the samples, but it doesn't seem to save at least patterns. I'm not sure if it saves program settings yet. I haven't played with it enough to have figured that out, but it's really just a shift last button to write, and you just say whether you want it to do all, I guess like pad, pattern, effect. I just keep doing all and then hit C# for enter. If you have multiple samples on the pad, yeah, so if you do that step sampling where you have multiple samples, then yeah, it's going to affect all of them as far as I can tell. So, which may or may not be what you want. Like, but you can, like, if you just recorded, if we go over here, got nothing on this pad. Let's say we just want the kick. Just record it. I'm doing it wrong. Gonna go sample here, shift. Gonna get to step sampling off. Go standby. We now have a kick here. It's probably longer than it needs to be. Some white space, but that's fine. So I've just got this one. I could just set this up to then be the snare or clap or whatever. So now I can edit them separately. And I do think this might be why, if you wanted to do step sampling, you might consider, like, I've been trying to play around with it. Like, do I want one pad to be a complete kit, or do I want one pad to just be like a selection of kick drums or something so I can go edit it? I do know people have been complaining that there is a problem that if you go take and edit the sample, it's going to edit how these sample works across all patterns. But I don't know. I haven't hit that as being something I've been worried about. And for me, I think this is just going to be like a temporary scratch pad for a lot of stuff anyway. So probably not the endpoint for me. Although I could see, taking the time to you could probably make a couple songs on here with what you got available, or at least get like some have enough drums on it to do a bunch of drum patterns or something. But yeah, like, I think like it's going to be kind of weird trying to figure out because I think the envelope between voice and filter is tied together, is what it's read like in the manual. The pitch envelope is fine. Like, it's cool that it's there. I think there's specific sound design things people might want that for. But just trying to see if I can like hear it do anything. There we go. So like you can make it sound weird. The pads feel uniform, but they are mushy, unlike the pads on the SP404 Mark II, where there's like a sensor strip underneath it. So you hit it, and it's basically detecting how much force you're pushing on the pad. So I would say they feel a bit like a tiny bit more immediate. I'm pretty sure there's like switches or something underneath here, because you get I don't know if you can see, but maybe if I go sideways, like it pushes in, whereas you don't have like that push in on the S950 or the S950 on the SP404 Mark II. So like it will, and they're not velocity sensitive either. So you're either pushing it or you're not. I'm just not sure if this is like the dome cap style where you're basically pushing down and then connecting like a graphite or graphene or whatever that might be on the bottom that is like bridging between the two, or if there's like a actual button under here. I'm not totally sure. They do move a lot, and for the bigger pads, I don't mind it, but the keyboard ones here, you can see they wiggle quite a bit. Like these wiggle side to side, but they're big enough like for your fingers that I think you can kind of line up and play them. You're not going to be able to do that with the keys. Like they're, at least for my hands, they're too big. So like it's making me want to kind of noodle a bit more, like one finger at a time. But as I said, like for something that you can throw in your backpack, this is probably like I've kind of, I'll unplug it. Tried to do this in a previous video. I guess I'll take that out too. It's probably a third as tall as the S950, and it's probably about half the thickness. If you, I mean, you have to still add in the knobs here as a thickness, so I don't think you can like get 6 of these in the same amount of space as a 404 Mark II, but it's, you could probably get 4 pretty easily in like a bag if you wanted to. So having like if you could have like the P6, and when I saw this, I was like, you know what, it's about time to check out the S1. And I actually like the sound of it. It sounds pretty nice. It's a nice little thing. It got plenty of knobs for controlling, and it looks like it's got a pretty good depth to it. So I'm gonna keep playing with it. Yeah, I always forget the Canadian exchange rate exactly, but if you are a fan of the Ira stuff, Ira, I don't know how to pronounce it. If you're a fan of it, then I think you'd probably like this, especially if you're like in the SP 404 Mark II. Like, as I said, like you can throw this in your, I can almost fit this in my pocket if I wanted to, and go nuts. So, yeah, I hope that helps you out, man. At this point, I think I'm gonna have to drop. I gotta go help my daughter with some stuff, but thanks for stopping by, everybody. Keep having fun. Keep making music. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.